Hello and welcome to your full moon total lunar eclipse video for the full moon total lunar eclipse in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, which takes place overnight on the 13th of March into the 14th of March. Before we jump into today's video, let's talk a little bit about eclipses and what they do. Well, on one level, they're a transit, just like anything else, but they're a transit that usually marks a portal between one phase of our year and another. In short, the things that happen with eclipses have long-term effects over the course of the next several months. We don't always feel their impact immediately when the actual transit is taking place, but sometimes we can do so, dependent upon what they're actually hitting in our horoscope. If you want to know more about that in relation to your own horoscope or look at anything else in your life, please feel free to schedule in one of my services that you can find through my services page linked above. So, big changes on the horizon and how we confront them. Those are the points through which we should always approach eclipses. It's good to be consciously aware of what they are relating to in your life so that you can bring your attention to that so you can do the conscious work necessary in terms of making the necessary changes. And in terms of this eclipse, we likely find in some area of your life or another, you're looking at an agreement that's needing to be made. It's an agreement that you're not necessarily thrilled about, but it's something that you know is likely going to be of benefit to all parties involved. But there's that nagging little part of your mind that goes, yeah, but is this going to come back and bite me in the backside? It can. Let's just say that. It can come back and bite you in the backside, but regret weighs a ton. And sometimes it's not worth carrying that regret before you've made a decision. And at other times, it's not helpful to regret a decision once you've actually made it. In short, the changes that you're looking at and that thing that you feel that you're having to agree to on one level or another is something that makes a lot of sense and ultimately is of great benefit to all parties involved and definitely to something or someone that is your dedication or something to which you are devoted, whether that be a situation or a person. A lot of that relates to wherever this is falling in your own particular horoscope. But you making this decision is not necessarily what you want. Why? Well, because one part of you has a vision. You have an idea, but you can't be fully sure if this idea is the safest thing for you to commit to. And so you've been kind of vacillating back and forth, trying to make a decision to what you should actually commit to, who you should actually commit to, whether you should make an agreement with someone or whether it's going to feel to you like somehow you're selling yourself short in terms of a particular situation. You need to, on one level or another, not give up the dream. Don't give up the vision, but also recognize that this is a sacrifice that you're making at the moment for a very important reason. Let's take a look at the astrology that's happening in connection with this particular eclipse. We have the moon in close proximity to the south node, K2, as we call it in Vedic astrology. And basically, lunar eclipses always happen on a full moon in close proximity to the nodes, and a solar eclipse always happens in close proximity to a new moon in close proximity to the nodes. So you can put that down in your little I didn't know that book and refer to it for the future. So moon in close proximity to the south node, K2, in Uttara Falguni Nakshatra. Uttara Falguni Nakshatra can relate to the benefit that we receive from partnership. the benefit that we receive from an agreement. And on one level or another, this always relates to reconciling the two opposites within us. It always relates to having the confidence to back yourself, to make that choice that you know or you feel inside of your heart is the best choice that you can make. Okay. Across the sky from that, we've got Sun, Saturn, Rahu, and if you look at the outer planets, Neptune as well, all in Uttara Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Uttara Bhadrapada is symbolized by two different halves meeting each other. It's like that part of us that we're not really paying attention to, that we're somehow not really aware of. It's our, you could call it our shadow side or our unconsciousness on a certain level. And we come into a direct contact with that. Now, the unconscious or the subconscious is filled with all sorts of repressed desires, things that we want, things that we feel that we need, but we kind of just push beneath the surface. Well, because sometimes we feel like we have to. And when you have Rahu in close proximity to the sun and to Saturn, Rahu Saturn brings to the surface quite often a lot of fears of instability. Rahu Sun brings to the surface a lot of concern over which path should I go down? And so we've got this concoction kind of brewing in your mind as we deal with this lunar eclipse. And it's placing you in a position where, with Rahu in close proximity to Neptune, you're not really sure if you're deluding yourself about something that you really want. You're not really certain if you're being overly idealistic. Am I just dreaming? Right? Am I having a nightmare? Sometimes we can feel that way about it too. Is this a nightmare that I'm experiencing where I have to make this choice, or am I being given an opportunity to stand by the vision that I really believe in? Now, with this, we're also seeing you in a position where you're needing to stand by something that you're devoted to. Now, that thing that you're devoted to, that can be your vision. That can be the thing that you might not be certain about. But it's probably more than likely with this lunar eclipse energy, a cause that you're likely going to have to make a sacrifice for. Because on a certain level, you're recognizing that maybe the time for that vision that I have is not right now. Maybe this is the best I can do. Maybe this choice that I'm making, which one part of me doesn't really want to make, is the best choice for this particular moment in time. Now, this lunar eclipse happens a day in advance of Mercury stationing retrograde in Revati Nakshatra. Revati Nakshatra creates an environment where it can feel like we're in a state of limbo. We sense changes are around the corner. We're having to make some minor refinements before we kind of step into those changes. And Mercury is in close proximity to Venus as Venus is retrograde too. So over the course of the next several weeks, you're going to have a lot of time to really go over whether this choice or decision that you're making was the best decision to make. But for now, it's like you need to commit to it. You need to make that decision. You need to make that choice. Chances are it's not that you would be going back on a commitment, but something's going to change or something can alter. And it can alter in the direction of you living in alignment with what that vision or what you ideally would like overall to come into place, right? There still can be an opportunity for that to happen. But what I would say with this particular full moon energy, and it's a lunar eclipse at the same time, but we already said that, then this is an agreement that makes sense. You need to make the choice that's for the benefit of all, even if that means to a degree sacrificing your vision for the moment. You're not giving up on it totally, and you shouldn't do that. Because otherwise, as we said at the beginning, it can come back and bite you in the backside. You'll go, well, I never did that. I should have done that, or I should have made this choice. But in actuality, you need to make the choice that makes the most sense in this particular moment. There's going to be a chance for you to review your decision. There will be an opportunity for things to be weighed in the balance and new decisions to be made. But for now, make the choice that's going to be for the benefit of all. And if you could use a little bit of help understanding this energy in relation to your own personal horoscope, again, I do offer several different levels of astrological service. These are available through my services page that you will find linked above. That's going to do it for this look at the full moon total lunar eclipse taking place in Uttada Falguni Nakshatra overnight on the 13th to the 14th of March 2025. Until next time, please do take the very best care of yourself. Bye now.